So hello there. In today's video we are going to learn not array lists, we are going to learn arrays, and in the next video we are going to learn array lists. So for now we are going to learn array. So first of all, question in our mind, like what is array? Let me just first give you the intuition behind the array. So let's say I am asked you to store the marks of one student in let's say marks of 5 students in one subject. So how you can do if you don't know anything, like till this point you know how we can declare a variable. So yeah, you can type like here marks, let's say m1 equal to 10, then you create another variable for marks in second subject, then another variable for third student. Okay, this is m1 is the marks of first student, m2 is marks of second student, then m3 is the marks of third student. Then we store m4 as 1 2 3, let's say, and don't see the number, I am just speaking random. M5, let's say it is 90, so let's just make it in 100, but it will make more sense. So we have 89 here. Let's say this student got 40 and this student got 44. So this is how you can store the marks of 5 students in one subject. And now I am saying store the 100 student marks. So what you are going to do? Again, if you do not know what is array, then you just copy paste, and then you write m1. And likewise, you are going to store. But you can see that it is very lengthy process, and in a program, we do not. Our program look not nice, and also it is very hard to maintain that type of code. So for overcome this type of situation in every language, we have one concept of arrays. So we have one concept of arrays for storing the data in linear fashion. And just let me just correct the spellings. Not string, storing the data in linear, that's a model, and store STOR. Okay, okay. So what happened in the array, we have first element, let's say my first element is let's say 12, then I have second element, let's say 32, then I have another element as 42, then I have another element as 10, and another element is 43. And in the array, by default index, the first element has, let's say, address of 12, let's say 2, and this all element have int. So by default, if you remember, so size of int will be 32 bits, means 4 bytes. So let's say our first variable is at 1 position, so second will be 1 plus 4, 5 position, then third one will be 9th position, and then fourth one will be 9 plus 4, 13 position, and last one will be at 17 position. So this is how you can see that in memory all the elements are stored in a linear fashion, and with the help of first element we can access any other element array with the constant time, because if you know the base address, and we also know the size of the element which are stored in the array, so we can easily calculate that what is the third element, what is the fourth element in the array. So this is how we can store in the element in the array, and why array needed. If you so in brief, array need for storing the data type, same data in the array, and in typical definition of the array is like array used for array is used for storing the same data type values in the linear fashion. So you can see that here we have int, and we are storing in the array because it make our task easy, and also our code will be much more clear by this value. So let me just and how we can create array, you have to just type first data type, then we have to name our variable. As we name our variable, we have to name our array. So let me just say arr, and here if it is 1D array, like it is like only if it is storing the values in the linear fashion only, and we have only one dimension, so we have to use these two brackets and then we have to equal to, then we have to create a array object, because if you know that in the Java everything is class, so we have to somehow create the object for accessing that element. So this is how we can create the array. You have to just type new, then again data type, and then you have to specify the length of array. So let's say here I am creating n as 10, 12, let's say 5. So my array length is 5. Okay, so I write here 5. So you can see that in memory I have one array, the length of array is 5. So let me just print you that array. Let some dot out dot println arr, and if I am run it, sorry I am running, let's just run this program. Okay, we do something wrong here. We have to write system, and let's just run the program now, and it's compiling everything, and you can see here we get some address. So this is our address of our first element in the memory. So you can see that is and some this is a way to print any object, like in Java array are printing like this. First of all, we have here opening bracket, then it write I for indicating that it is an int array, and then at the rate, and this is the address of our array, address of that first element the array. So this is how you can see that our array is created. And length of array, how to find length of array, you have to just write length, and length is a variable of the array, and you can see you get 5 here. Let me just remove that build. So you can see that 5 is our length of array. So how we can put values in array? So you have to just write array, then that block open, then you have to specify index. So and by default array index start with 0, not 1, please remember it. And then we are going to pass any value. We make sure if we have int array, so we can only pass int. Like here if I am writing 1.2, so you can see that our compiler suggests, our editor suggests error, so this will error, slow the conversion again. And now let me just print that for value first, and this how you can put assign the value in array, and this how you can get the array element. And you can see that we get 12 here. So yes, 12. So this how in this way you can take input from the user and store the values in array. So there are 3 steps. First we have to create the array object, then we can assign the value like in this format. We can pass any index, but make sure you pass only the index less than this, because this is the length of our array. And if we write here 5, so our array length is 5 because we are starting from 0 based indexing. So in the memory we have index 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 4, and you can see that here 5 elements are reached. So 5 will be the ending point, and in the array we do not have any element as index 5. And if I am writing here, so it will it will show one exception. The exception name is array index out of bound exception. So if I write here 4, then it's totally fine. And here you can see that we do not put the value in 0 based indexing. So here you can see that it is 0, because by default all the element of the array is, if it is a number type, data type, so it will 0. Like here if I am float, then it is 0, and if I am one class, then it is null. And if I have boolean array, then it will by default false value. Okay, so what is our task? So let's just store the value of 5 student marks in subject. So this is build 0, it will get 44. Then we have, let me just control D is a shortcut for copying the above line in the second line. So 3, and just make that marks well and good. These are 74, 84, 84, and 94 over. If some student get 94, it is a very big thing. And now we are going to see how we can insert to the array. So we have to just write for loop I equal to 0, I less than arr dot arr the length, then I plus plus, and here you can write system dot out dot println. Let me just like println, and you have to just access that index. Same step as C and C++. I do not come from C and C++. Then also this is it. We have to just iterate our we have to iterate over array, and then just we can print the elements. So you can see that we get here element. And there is another type of loop which comes into the picture in the Java, which I am don't explain in the last video, because for that somewhat knowledge of array is required. So what is that loop? Like, you can also write for int I. What is a type of array? It is int. So you can also write here, you can also write in this format, and here you can just print system.out or print ln. So it here we do not require any index. It directly handled by the compiler, so it will fetch one by one value in the array. So first value is 94. Let me just run it and show you what I'm saying. And let me just comment out this, because we do not want same output multiple times. So you can see that here we got 94, 84, and it is a better way if you want to just iterate over array and check the if array contains the value or not. And yeah, this is it for 1D array in the Java, and I hope you can understand what is array, how you can initialize array, and how you can print the value of array. And let's just perform our first task. So we have to store 10 even numbers in our array, first 10 even numbers in our array. So let me just comment out this all the same, and also this. Here our array length will be 10, because we have to print 10. Here will be 10. Basic will cover. Then we are moved to second part, and here we have to just make one for loop. For int I equal to 0, I less than equal to, what do you think? 0 is a even number or odd number? Think, because even number start with 2. And then we have to iterate if you want to get, let me just make more general things. So let's just make our I equal to, starting will be 1, then we iterate 2, and we make one counter 0 equal to 0, and whenever c not equal to 10 or c less than 10, we are going to do subs. So if we are checking if our I modulo 2 equal to 0, that means it is a even number, then we are to put that value into our array. And here we are going to do C++ else, and here we are going to do I++ by default. At the end, let me just print our array. ARR system system dot out dot println, and you can see that here we initialize our I variable, so we cannot use here, so we have to use another variable. So let's say I1, and here I1. Let me just run it and show you the first 10 even number, our first ever coding program. So you can see that we get first 10 even numbers here. So this is how you can iterate over array, store that value, and use for your purpose. So what we cover what is array, then we cover our question also, and the dynamic name suggests you are going to take a array length from the user, and then you are going to create that array. So what I am telling, like let's just initialize, and then let me just quickly make the scanner class object. Let's see the scanner system dot, and if you do not know what I am writing, so please check it out our starting from the code, because it is I am explain all the things in details. So here I am taking one input n equal to sc dot next int, and let me just, and here also I am going to write n. Here I am making that thing more general, writing n here, and let me just rerun it. Here let me just pass, okay, there is let me just pass first 20. You can see that in output we get first 20 even numbers. So this is how you can make dynamic array. Then let me just tell you that how in running time you can increase your array size. and this will be the, then we will move on to the direct what are the different type you can initialize your array. Let's just do this thing first, because it is, I think it is very useful than just learning how you initialize the array. And let me just make you how to change array size in runtime. So what we are going to do, that we are making while true. By default our array size will be 10. Let's say int 5, let's say, not make very complex. So our array size will be 5. Then we are going to let me just uncomment that scanner class object. So here we are going to take one input from user. So this is how you can take input. We are going to do sc.nextInt. We are going to take one integer. Then we are, and here also we have an I equal to 0. And here if our n equal to -1, that means we do not want to do anything. So we simply terminate our program. Otherwise we are going to store, if we are going to, first of all we are going to see if I is greater than or equal to AR length. So do one thing, copy that array and copy that array and give me, okay, we do not learn till now what is function. So we are going to do something here, else we are going to simply add, let's that value and at highest index, and here we are going to make our array size big, because by default it is 5. So here we are going to make the size, last size multiply by 2. Pause the video and try it by yourself, because if you are coding this first time and you are able to do that, we very appreciate it, man. So let me just do it now. So we are going to create another temp array bus, because it is very, and here we are going to pass array length. What is our last array? We are going to just multiply by 2, and here we are going to 9 equals 0. We are going to ir.array length I plus plus, and we are going to just put temp of I equal to, we are going to just copy our array to I. Here we have I available, so let's just change J and J, and here you can just sorry, there is not else, but if you are no Python, in Python we have else for loop, and here we are just going to put that arr.legend equal to I, and then we are just seeing okay, I hope you understand. We are just pointing the temp object to the AR object. So let me just, and at the end we are going to print our array. So for print in ARR we are going to do system dot out dot println println. Again I make this guy true, so let's just write type in here. Let me just write here system dot out dot println enter array. Okay, so this is how our code will done. So what we doing, let me just recap. We have array, so initial size is 5, array initial size is 5, then we initialize that starting index I equal to 0, then we make one infinite loop, because while true is infinite loop, because true is one, true is make what, true is true, then our loop will never terminate by this condition. But we have one another break condition in the loop. If user enter -1, then we simply break. Otherwise what we are going to do, if our I is less than array dot length, because that means our I is less than array length, so we can put that value at ith index, so we are going to simply put that value here. But if this is not the case, we are going to double our array size. So what we are going to do, we are going to create another array with double size, then we just copy first array, then we are put that here I have to write n, here we add n value at last index, because stamp has double size, so we can put it, and then in the all case we have to do I plus plus, and here I can also write I. And at the end I am changing that ARR object reference which previously at this array I am changing to temp array. And here we do not have to clear that array space, because in the Java there is a concept of I do not remember the name, exact name, because per by that Java in the background there is one process running which will automatically remove that object which do not have any pointer to them, like none of variable or variable at pointing to them. So let me just run that program and what we see. So let me just write 12, 13, 21, 32. Then you can see that we do not get an array index out of bound, and here I am writing -1, so you can see that it will show me the value. Why we get this 0 here? Because we are just doubling, and here I am not writing exactly 10 elements. Because of that we got 0. You can also if you do not want to user to see that 0, so here you can see it change that for loop to like 4 in I equal to 0. Let me just I1 less than I, because I will pointing to the last element which will include in the array. Then I will do I plus plus. Then I will again write system dot out dot print ln ARR of I1, and hence we can run this program again. Here if I writing an arbitrary value greater than 5, then I will write -1. So we get infinite loop here. Let me just show you. Let's just terminate the first of all loop, because I do not want to crash my system. So what we are going to do? Okay, here you have to do I1. Sorry for that little gesture. So let me just run it. Okay, I space and then I will write -1. You can see we get error, and some of you, if you see here, I am pressing 2 times enter, but it is not providing any error, because by default se.next will wait for the entering the next any value. It will by default we can see that it will by default escape the enter or space value, space character. What I'm telling, like here also, here I am also can write 12. I do not have to write enter. Here I have to just write here, and then I will write minus, then I will enter. Now see that I have array in the buffer reader, because buffer reader is reading by default whole line, so you have to make sure to convert that to int into that line. So we see how we can dynamically change our array size. So yeah, this is more important part, because in any DSA problem by default you have to somehow increase your array size. And in the Java, there are special class Java providers which will part in the collection framework. The class name is ArrayList. We will cover in the we will cover in the collection framework, not in the next video, because first of all I want to complete that oops part. So we cover most things. Let me just show you that fourth thing, the difference way you can initialize your array. You can also write here 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is same as array initialization in C, if you remember. Here by default we do not have to pass length, and our object will be created, and our array will fill up with this length and this number of elements. So it is very easy to understand. Then we have also concept of 2D array. How we can initialize? Same way like 1D array, we have to pass that both dimensions, like n chroms and if you, and right now just focus on, let's say, my else. So here my 2D array will be created with the help of 12. And how we can iterate to 2D array? It is also very simple thing. We have to just write 2 nested loop, I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, then we have to write that z index, that 0, z are less than n, j plus plus, and then, and if you want to see how want to more hand on your that nested part of array, because I am not covering it, so just open any platform and or Google it, like patterns program, and you will see different pattern. Like I will give you the suggestion. Here he like this type of pattern, and we have to create this type of pattern, and there are many parts. And if you do, I guess, do 10 through 3 medium pattern and 3 medium and then 1 2 hard, so you can easily understand the nesting part. And if you wish, I will also explain you, but I think you can do it on your own because it is very easy, I guess. Some pattern are require more time, but give them time, because in the learning phase, be patient is a very important thing. Be patient also in the life. Become more patient is a very important thing. So here, let me just take that whole array and print that so you can understand very easily. See, this is how we are going to do it. And if you have 3D array, so you have to write another one array in the that for loop. And let me just print that array in this for each type loop format. So here we have A1. Okay, this is somewhat difficult, I guess. So our A is 2D array. So in 2D array, we are getting that all the rows in the 1D array format, because in memory that it is so like we have first row, then we have second row, and all these are array itself. So here I am getting that all array, and then here I am getting that all the values of that A1 array. And here I am printing system dot out dot println. I guess I have to write what I have to write every space, and here do not ln. Let me just show you the 2D script system dot out dot println. Yeah, that's it. And here let's just write one heading, system dot out dot println. And here you have to write your array, and here I can just run the program and it will wait for my response. So what is size of array? Okay, 12. Let me just make you 5, because do not want to make things complex, or it is very easy to understand. I have to just want to enter less number, so let's just say 2 3 5 3 4 5 6 and 2 3 okay. And now if I want to enter, then what will happen? Your array will be printed. So this is a 8, or like this is our last step, 2D array. And in the same how right here we initialize a array in that command array like this format. You can also write in 2D array. We have to just nesting of that brackets, and here you can write anything. Make sure that it is same for all the rows. Like here, if you put in 2 values, then here also you have to put 2 values to 12, and that's it. Here also we get array. Let's just print. Yeah, it will print it. So let me just run it. You can see our array is printed. So this okay, I think this video will become more lengthy, but yeah, array is one of the most important thing, because this is the first data structure in your life you are learning. So give it some time, and yeah, because it is require arrays are required in the all data structure, because this is the base of your understanding of data structure and algorithm. So yeah, what we learn in this video, I am recapping. We first learn how to initialize an array, how to create that object of array, and let me just cover this is not for int. You can have any type of array. Here also I have string array of string, but just I have to make sure that I am writing the same class here and same class here. Then I have boolean array also, boolean arr also. It will require a boolean, and we have to just write n. So yeah, you can have any array. Okay, by the way, this by the way, in your life you are using this type of cursor, it is like blinking, and if you are somehow in your keyboard there is a key for activate this type of keyword, the key name is inspect only. So you have to just insert only, and you have to just click on it. So you can see that. Again click, your wish. I'm just okay, do not go out of track. So we need to learn how to what is array, how we can initialize array, how we can iterate to array, how we can take input array, how we can create 2D array, how we can print first and even numbers. Then we see behind the running time how we can increase our array size, and we will see the best alternative of this type of, because we do not I do not require manual to do it. In the Java there is one class, the class name is ArrayList, and it will do all things for us. So let me just show you ArrayList in the next video itself, because it is very useful in the upcoming videos. So and then we see how we can initialize multi-dimensional arrays. And if you are following, then solve 3 questions I am giving you. First, again, find 10 odd numbers and store. I am always writing store spelling wrong. I don't know why. Then add to matrix. What is matrix? Matrix is a 2D array in brief. Yeah, although it will be, it's not specified that it will 2D, but in our case just add 2D matrix. Then in the third page take 3D array input and print it. And by the print you can also use 3 loop nesting, or I am suggesting by print, or if you want to just print array, use this method. And yeah, this is all 3 tasks which I am giving you, and thank you for watching this video, and make sure to at least like this video and share with your friends if it's feasible for you and if you are getting something out of it. So thank you for watching this video, and we are going to learn ArrayList in the next video. So till then, Shabak here and goodbye, and have a good day and happy coding.